Sculptor showed up at my house one time, some time ago. I don't recall exactly, several years. He said he admired the contours of my face and that I had a particularly chiseled look, which was really good for him because he liked to chisel marble. And he echoed Michelangelo's statement that the angel is in the marble, you just have to free the angel. Or I'm thinking maybe that was Rodin, I can't remember exactly. I think it was Michelangelo. Or Rodin echoing Michelangelo, taking the truth that was already locked in the marble of Michelangelo and freeing it angelically into an aphorism by Rodin. So, as I'm wont, I like to do crazy things. Crazy things. I looked that sculptor in the eye. Let's call him Giuseppi. And I said, "What can I do for you?" Giuseppi. Giuseppi had one of those Salvador Dali handlebar stashes. He was an eccentric type, you know. He was one of those guys who just... He's all over the place. You talk to him and you don't know where to focus. It's like a camera that's trying to place the square on the face. And you're doing this, and Giuseppe's like this. Oh, Giuseppe, well, you can do this for me, and you can stand over here on the sidewalk, and I can look at you. And when you're crossing the street, you try to be simple. I'm like, okay, Giuseppe, slow down. You want me to go over here and just kind of freeze in midair, and then you can get the chisel of my chiseled chin? He's like, yes, it'll be perfect, I feel like, I should just throw a piece of pizza at him so he'll stop going crazy. So what I would do is I'm a humanitarian. Not quite a philanthropist because I don't have the money to be a philanthropist, but I'm a humanitarian. And I wanted to assist Giuseppe. And so I went down the street, my street where I live, and Giuseppe was trailing me like a good little Italian. And as I was descending from the sidewalk to the street, I had to, step down from a curb. Perfectly natural. And I did this, and I went. I raised my hand so you could see it like this, but it's more like, like this. Imagine it's out here. And I stood there, and then the most miraculous and marvelous thing happened. Giuseppe, my little Italian friend, was just so spastic. He's spastic. He's a whirlwind of energy, and he's talking like this, and he's like, oh, yes. Now I understand what Giuseppe was all about. When I froze in midair, he was like that rotating camera you see in the Matrix when they do bullet time. And in the Matrix, if you see behind the scenes, the actors are there in the center, and then there's all these cameras in a circle around them. Let's say, 200 cameras. And they're all taking their still shots. And that's why you can get that circular panoramic. But that's what Giuseppe did himself. Except when Giuseppe did it, he went from being, okay, now if you just like the Roadrunner and Wile E. Coyote in one animated individual, he was slow. He warped space and time himself. And what he would do is he would just circle around me so fast. I mean, this is warp speed of light fast. And chisel at the marble. And you may wonder to yourself, well, where was this marble? Well, he had concocted this crazy-ass structure where the marble, the big slab of marble, like a big-ass slab of marble, 7 feet, 8 feet tall, and, basically 4 feet tall, on a gel. A gel. Like when you were a kid and you bought toothpaste, and it was the new kind of Aquafresh, and first it was like the striped Aquafresh with a teal and a white going back and forth, and then finally Aquafresh was like, what the hell? Let's make this even cooler. Let's make this an aquamarine gel. That's what Giuseppe put the marble slate on, the monolith. Okay? And his kinetic energy was transducted down into the gel and directed by his mind. So this is very important because this gel has to be able to move over things like a slug. You know how a snail is this gel, this gelatinous being, carries the big old shell on top, and that gelatinous gel of a snail can go over multiple surfaces and keep that shell just relatively stable. That was Giuseppi with his gel, holding the marble on top as he went around me in bullet time to keep every shot separate. But what was the shot? It was him with his chisel and his hammer, getting this chin line just perfect. That's all he really wanted. It was as if the rest of my constitution was irrelevant and incidental. And instead of being the manic Giuseppi, where I could hardly understand anything, he was poetry. Emotion, pure eloquence. And meanwhile, I was frozen. Now you may think to yourself, how long could he be frozen? I don't honestly know how long I was frozen in that position, walking over the curb. I don't even know how long my foot was suspended in midair. I have no recollection. This is what Giuseppe does. Giuseppe has got a very incredible gift. Very incredible gift. And Giuseppe, what he does is he goes around and around and around on his gelatinous gel with a snail with the shell. And he chisels. And because he's so dedicated to his craft, he takes you there. Oh, yes. Giuseppe. He's Giuseppe. Sometimes we don't understand people very well. We don't know what they're doing, what they are, why they are, when, where, how. We don't know. We just know he's a crazy Italian. Giuseppe's manic. His mind is out of control, and he's moving so fast we feel anxious around him. He's crazy. But what he's doing with all that energy is creating a world, creating a reality that we cannot conceive beforehand, and we can only understand it with bullet time. We only know that Giuseppe is compelling. He shows up and he tells us that he loves our chin line. Oh, I love your chin line. It's so perfect. I need to really, really study your chin line. I want to chisel your chin line. It's just, it's perfect. I love it. He's also a little drunk. He carries a bottle of vino everywhere he goes, and he drinks it. But it's okay. It's okay. It's Giuseppe. Well, meanwhile, I've gone from somebody who's skeptical and quasi-judgmental to someone who is just in awe, completely awestruck by Giuseppe. Can you imagine for a moment how different you are from Giuseppe? Giuseppe is on fire. He reminds me of something I read about Vincent van Gogh, another artist of similar intensity. Vincent's brother Theo said that Vincent read the newspaper in a fury. What does it mean to read the newspaper in a fury? What does that mean? It's like Giuseppe on the gel, the Aquafresh gel. Carrying this marble monolith that he's engineered to just go over every disturbance of surface with such grace because he's chiseling into the marble and freeing the angel Michelangelically style. He's reading the newspaper in a fury. In his own way, he's chiseling the chin in a fury. But do you know what that does when we meet somebody who is so consolidated and so aerodynamic with their intensity? They take us into their world with them. We're caught up in their whirlwind. So my life has changed just because this manic Italian Giuseppi came up to me and was enamored with my chin. Oh, you've got the perfect chin. I love your chin. It's just, oh, your chin is just the perfect chin. Look at this chin. This chin is so, it's like any angle at all. I want to get to one side of the chin. Oh, the one side of the chin. But I'm going to look at both sides of your chin. This one and this one. I'm going to kiss it, but not kiss it. I'm not going to kiss it. I'm not going to kiss your chin. I'm not kissing you. He takes a swig of his wine, of his vino. I'm not going to kiss you. I'm going to kiss the marble with the chisel when I'm looking at your chin. Oh, and I marvel at the marble. You're perfect. I love your chin. Just stay there. And then I'm like, my chin? Giuseppe, I think you mean my jawline. Yes! Yes! I'm sorry, my English is not so good. I mean your jawline. I love your jawline. Your jawline is so good, but I call it chin because it's chisel and chin, chisel and jawline. No, it's got to be poetry. It's got to be poetry. I'm like, okay, all right. That's the chin. Yes, I am here to release the angel from your chin. That's got to be poetry. And he goes around, light speed around again and again and again until he's done. That was the best day of my life. I'll never forget that day. That was the day that I woke up. You know, I had been working with a lot of different coaches and therapists and counselors and professionals, trying anything to get my life straight, get my life on track, to make sense of it all. And nothing worked because I didn't have an example. It's what these people have been reading from their books, you know, or what they learned from their own counselors and therapists and coaches and professionals. It's this lineage of disembodied theoretical nonsense. Really, you know. And the only way to get your money's worth is to actually just become one of them. You know, you're like, well, I have been seeing this coach for so long, or this counselor, therapist, professional mentor, and I can't apply any of the stuff that they taught me to reality, so I might as well just become one of them and continue the lineage and continue to teach stuff that doesn't have any applicability to reality. But not Giuseppe. Oh, not Giuseppe. Not Giuseppe. Giuseppe gets the angel in the chin. The poetry of the jawline. We kiss the chin, we kiss the chin, we kiss the chin. Let me go around and around and around. And I get this still shot of your chin and I chisel it on my gelatinous. Oh, see it. Oh, bravo, bravo, bravo. I love your chin. Your chin is poetry. And give me my jawline. Your jawline is poetry. It's the best. Oh, magnifico. My life was totally wrecked after that because it happened like in a day. It was several years ago. But I never stopped thinking about that time. Where is Giuseppi now? Well, he's probably anywhere. He's got so much energy and he's just drinking wine all day. It's like he is Dionysus. So I naturally, talk to people I respect. And I'm like, I got this guy named Giuseppe, and he just came up to me and told me he was in love with my jawline, but he called it my chin. And he's just so madly crazy, manic, crazy, ecstatic guy. Really, you would think he was like a whirling dervish, Italian style, and he didn't care. He was just in a fury. He was a whirlwind, a maelstrom of energy, and he came up to me and he said, I want to sculpt you. I need to sculpt you. Can you just let me sculpt you? I've got to. It's so you're perfect. I got to go. And boom, it goes. And I look and I'm like, wow, that's a snail. I mean, effectively, that's a snail. And it's the gelatinous body going over everything with this inconceivably heavy slab of marble. What's crazy, I still haven't been able to make sense of this, is where does he get his funding? Where does Giuseppe get the money to do something like that, to create that advanced technology of the Aquafresh gel foam holding the 3-ton monolith of marble, and then all he's doing is just going after my chin. He's just doing my chin. He doesn't care about anything else. So you can see that, like, practical questions come up, like, do you have a market? Do people actually buy this thing from you? It's just going to be a chin, a floating chin, which is really just a jawline. But you can tell that Giuseppe's totally a genius. He's totally a genius. He doesn't care about that stuff. No, he swigs his vino, and he goes and he's got his chisel and he's hammering so slightly, but at the speed of lightly, in circles. It is basically a cyclotron. A cyclotron. And then it dawned on me, Giuseppe's not from around here. No. Giuseppe is not from planet Earth. That's why I can't find them. And that's why he's really real. Giuseppe is really real. He's not like the mentors and the coaches and the therapists and the counselors. No, he's not like them. He doesn't just transmit nonsense from generation to generation. That only makes sense if you're part of that lineage teaching that nonsense from generation to generation. He's not like that. He's not from around here. He's from another place. He's from another dimension. And then he goes from dimension to dimension, from reality to world, through the swirling of bullet time. It's his passion that animates it. It's why when I look at him, he can't come into focus at all, because he's actually just temporarily passing through this dimension. That's why he says things that are so incomprehensible, and he's not just reading a newspaper in a fury, he's talking in a fury, like me right now. Giuseppe. Oh my God. I think I just got possessed by him for a moment there. When you get a taste of Giuseppe or his kind, because I'm sure he's not really Italian. Besides, you could tell his accent is not really Italian. It's some pastiche of French and Italian and maybe even a little Mexican. You get a taste of an entity from another dimension who just loves to sojourn into the human realm. It'll fuck you up. Because while he's interfacing with you and you can't understand him, he's all over the place. He's all over the place, and he doesn't care. He does not care. He's got a shirt, a sweater that's red stripe, white stripe, red stripe, red stripe, white stripe, red stripe. Horizontal, it's a sweater, he's got a red beret, huh? Handlebar mustache, no? Vino. And how in the world does he have a vino here and a chisel here and a hammer here? He's got 2 hands. He's not human. He's obviously got 3 hands or something that you don't understand. And he's creating a masterpiece out of your chin, your jawline, dislocating space and time. Just a little flitter through our universe. He bridges, comes in, meets me, tells me he's in love with the poetry of my face, and that he wants to capture it, and that he's going to take it back into his own reality and show all the little beings in his reality how wonderful my face is. Meanwhile, I've been knocked on my ass. I can't make sense of this experience, this encounter. The counselors and the therapists and the coaches and the mentors, they have nothing for me. It's pure anomaly. And so I beg of you all who are watching me, please tell me if you think that I've lost my mind. You think of something in your own life that perhaps you have had an encounter from an interdimensional entity who's come and their energy has been so life-altering that you cannot go back. You cannot listen to all of these people who are just dead inside. You start to listen to Giuseppi alone. And you could never forget the encounter that you had because you knew that Giuseppi wasn't full of shit. That Giuseppi was animated from within with that inextinguishable life force that we all crave, that we all subdue or abandon or bury. I wish that I could simply grab Giuseppi by the neck, take him, and put him inside me, and he'd be happy to be me.